Welcome to the Sly Tiger Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Todd, and joining me this week, I have 4 members of the gaming community throughout New Zealand who are widely respected. Well, actually, they couldn't be here, so instead I have got Christian.
Hello.
Chris.
Hello.
David.
Hey.
And Amy.
Hey.
So they'll be filling in for better quality talent. So anyway, this is the Sly Tiger Gaming Podcast. If you haven't listened before, if it's your first time listening, it is a podcast where we talk about gaming, not just within New Zealand, but from around the world, what's happening and beyond. We don't really have much of a background on it other than we just like games. Some of us like it more than others. Yeah, we're totally qualified to talk about the subject. So we'll start off by just having a quick whip around the womb. And we'll start with Amy with what you've been playing lately, Amy.
I haven't gone to play too much. I started playing that Raven game, Legacy of a Master Thief, but didn't get too far. But I have been watching one of my flatmates play, I keep going to call it Walking Dead, but it's not, The Last of Us. Just the original PlayStation 3, not the remake high-def one. Yeah, but I pretty much think it's The Walking Dead, but with fungus, from what I've seen of it.
I can honestly say I have no idea what that first game you talked about was, and I probably won't pick it up either. What do you think about The Last of Us? Other than that it's similar to The Walking Dead.
It was very pretty graphics, but I strongly believe lots of people like it purely because, well, the teenager actually acts like a teenager and swears and doesn't listen, and yeah.
No, that's generally Naughty Dog games. They do have good characters in them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I keep thinking the main guy looks a lot like the one from BioShock. I think
it's got the same voice actor too, Troy Baker.
Yeah. Maybe that's why.
How are you missing the obvious Ellen Page ripoff on the girl?
No, they changed your design of it. They changed it.
Yeah, they changed it. I knew about that. There was a big controversial big thingy because of Beyond Two Souls coming out as well and all that crap. But they did change her design slightly to make it a little less Ellen Page looking. From my understanding.
I still see Ellen Page.
Yeah, same.
When I play the game, it's Ellen Page.
I've actually booked my surgery to make my stuff look a little less Ellen Page. So
yeah.
I'm taking donations for if anyone wants to contribute. Chris, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing A Link Between Worlds, and actually I just finished it last night, and I plan to move on to a kind of unforgotten gem from the DS called Radiant Historia. Don't know if anybody has heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like a Link Between Worlds is actually one of the better, probably one of my recent, like one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games of all time, actually. Like, it was that good for me. I just completely loved it. It kind of goes back to that A Link to the Past kind of feel that I've loved for Legend of Zelda. I still like the 3D games, but there's something about the isometric view of these kind of Zelda games that I prefer about it. And A Link Between Worlds just completely nails it for me. So, yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, and why would you? Because I haven't told you yet, Christian is European. In fact, he's Italian and is not in the same country as we are right now. So it's nighttime when we're recording this now, and for him it is very early morning. So
yes, it is.
Not really relevant, but whatever. Gives you some character, give you some background and stuff.
Character development here.
Totally. Enjoy that character development. You're welcome. David, what have you been playing? Have you been playing anything?
Yeah, I've been playing playing anything. The Alan Wake game, which I'm really liking. It's like I don't know, it's like playing through like a psychological action thriller movie. Is how I describe it. It's good.
That sounds like sure.
Point flashlights at things and then shoot them and then get a cutscene and then repeat. Doesn't really sell it, but it's fun.
Amy will know that one because that was an Xbox game. It was, and now it's also
what one
a PC
was it? It actually cut out.
Alan Wake.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
No, I haven't played it, but one of my flatmates has it on Steam that I brought for them because they're like, oh my god, get me it. But yeah.
And also a little bit of character development for Amy. Amy is quite the Xbox fan. Probably, I'm assuming it's because you got the Xbox One first and now you're trying to justify it. I'll take the silence as a resounding yes.
Everything dropped out, sorry. It's back again, though, by the sounds of it.
No worries. It's something for you to look forward to when you listen to the podcast later. And Christian, what have you been playing lately?
First of all, let me just explain. There is 2 Christians on this show.
Well, no, the other one's Chris.
Yeah, you called him Christian earlier when you were introducing him about Italy.
Yes,
Oh,
you did.
whatever. There's
Wait, there are 2 Christians?
So there is Christian with a C and Christian with a K, but if I probably will refer to him as Christian again, but if you hear me say Christian and then the Italian voice starts talking, you'll know because it's a broken English. And that's
Thank you.
That's Chris. Whereas Christian is British accent, or kind of British accent.
So technically still European. Let's get on to him playing.
It's been a long time since you've been European.
He's still European. Come on.
You've been here a long time. Anyway.
Fine then. So one game I always go back to is Banished. It's a strategy game where I think the aim of the game is to lose in the most spectacular way possible. It's another one of those strat games where it's all about micromanagement. And it's the most infuriating thing ever to lose, not because you've run out of food, not because you've run out of warmth, but because your population's too old and they all die off. It's very depressing.
That sounds like real life.
It is. Normally with your Age of Empires or your Sim City and all that sort of stuff, they could try to go micro level, but this actually goes that one next up. They can all die off because they're sick and tired of eating fish non-stop. It's difficult and it's hard to maintain, and they winters and all that sort of stuff and getting your crops ready. I highly recommend it for anyone who likes anything remotely city builder-esque. It's very good and quite cheap on Steam as well.
Nice. I've been playing probably the thing I've been playing the most is The Simpsons tapped out on my phone. I am aching.
Oh, he's not so much playing it, but he's buying it.
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for what content they will bring out. I don't think I've ever spent more on anything in my life out of games than this game. It's well into the hundreds.
And that includes League of Legends, where he owns nearly all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I really enjoy it. I really like it, and I don't care. But no, yeah, there might be an update coming, hopefully overnight. So I'd be really keen tomorrow morning to open up the app and find an update going on. That'd be great.
Oh, does that mean we're going to be late to work? Does it?
Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Depends on how early I get up, but it might also be a couple of days. So we'll see. And other than that, because I'm also really excited for Dragon Age Inquisition, which, yeah, I'm really excited for Dragon Age Inquisition. I've been playing the DLCs for Dragon Age 2, which I know a lot of people don't like that game, but I actually prefer it over the original. Don't be jealous. So I've been playing over there, and yeah, no, it's fun. I do like Dragon Age. I prefer Mass Effect, but I do enjoy Dragon Age. Anyway, the first thing we'll be talking about today is pre-orders. So pre-orders have been around for quite a while now, but I think it's only in the last 3 or 4 years that it's sort of gotten quite prevalent with the backlash against it. Basically, any big game that's coming out, or actually quite a few niche games as well are starting to do it now. If they want you to put down the money beforehand, they're going to start giving you incentives. And so you've got games like, I know Call of Duty and Destiny, like they have half a dozen different pre-order packs.
Watch Dogs had like 7 different pre-order editions.
That's ridiculous.
That game was not worth 7 different packs.
But and I know like Little Big Planet's got a whole bunch of different DLC packs depending on where you pre-order it from. But what do you guys think? I want to know, like, have you pre-ordered games before? You know, why did you pre-order it? Why haven't you pre-ordered if you haven't? And if you are going to pre-order, how soon is too soon? What are some bad examples of pre-ordering? Like, what are your thoughts on the subject? And we will start with Amy.
Pre-ordering. I love it. I've pretty much, well, since PlayStation 3, like PlayStation 1, 2, not so much, but since PlayStation 3, 90% of the games I buy are via pre-order. Mostly because, like, for the statues and things like that, to guarantee I get limited edition for all the bonus extra crap. I've got like 5 or 6 pre-orders at the moment, probably. Yeah, because I know Assassin's Creed's always a big one that I pre-order. I've got like a pre-order for Sunset Overdrive, that Master Chief Collection. I've got to go get one for Quantum Break, but that's quite a while away, so I haven't bothered yet.
I don't think you'll be struggling to pick up those games for Xbox One. I think there'll be plenty of supplies when they come out.
Yeah, but they give you extra shit for pre-ordering.
I'm sure they'll have plenty of leftovers of these special editions too. I don't think these games are going to...
Like, at the moment, Assassin's Creed's doing something really weird with their pre-ordering, that if you get, like, 4 of you pre-ordering, you get even extra stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know how it works. You make, like, teams or something.
Oh, they've got that gambling thing as well, where if you've pre-ordered the game, you get to have, like, daily spins to win stuff online.
I totally didn't know that.
Look into it.
Look.
It's,
yeah.
It's, like, stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, generally I've found that, like, you do have to be careful. For my PlayStation 3, one time they accidentally gave me a 360 pre-order, but luckily they did have spare ones to give me the correct PlayStation 3 collector Assassin's Creed.
What an insult.
I know.
How dare they?
So whether it's too early, just don't pay a huge amount, because most of the time they haven't guaranteed their prices. Like, only ever pay about 70-80% of what they say. Though, of course, things like EB Games is terrible for their initial prices. So the day that trailer leaked for Assassin's Creed Unity, they put it in their system for $1,000. Just so that they had a placement holder price.
Oh.
And you could go in and put like $20 in. And then, of course, now they've gone, all right, it's going to be about this much. But JB Hi-Fi, yeah, you definitely only ever pay about 80%, because though they go, it's going to be this amount on the day, sometimes they release it cheaper. So it's better to have not paid the full amount and pay a final $20-$30 on the day you pick it up. Yeah.
David, have you ever pre-ordered a game?
Yeah. In fact, I think the last game I pre-ordered was Dragon Age Origins, the highly superior Dragon Age game.
Yes.
Wow.
But lately, not so much, eh? With games on Steam and stuff, I just don't bother to pre-order anymore.
No, you
if
can
I want
pre-order on
something, I'll
Steam.
just... Yeah, I know, but I don't need to. I'll just buy it when I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, he's talking about the digital availability.
Yep.
Oh no, I'm just not like they've started doing that now. I don't see any point. Like, I mean, it's gonna be there. You're not gonna be rushing to. I've got to make sure I get a copy. Like, it's digital. They'll just make another one. It's no big deal. But I guess the only thing I could think would be a benefit is maybe like pre-installing, like
And
if you
green light.
pre-ordered. Okay, I'm not sure what that is.
If it's in the green light, you get access to alpha and beta.
Oh, early access. Well, that's different though. We're not talking about early. We're talking about pre-ordering. Like,
But that's part of some of the deals. If you pre-order, you can have early access. That's
Yeah, that's the... Oh, no, that was just for buying it. I was going to say the Master Chief, I think you get beta access to their next one or some crap.
Chris.
Yes. No, I was just trying to remember what the last game that I pre-ordered was, and I think the first that comes to mind, I think, was the last Uncharted 3. I pre-ordered it because it came with like a Nathan Drake statue and like a little like a necklace or something, and I pre-ordered it honestly just because of the statue, because Uncharted is one of my favorite series, so I wanted to have that little statue for it, basically. But I used to pre-order games. I've kind of lost the habit, and I think it's mainly because I haven't found a reason to pre-order again. Like, unless there's something I get, like Amy said, like a limited edition something, I don't particularly see the need to get it. I used to pre-order games that didn't have limited editions, honestly, just because they kind of helped me pay for the final game, because you could pre-order like
Yeah.
months ahead and put like deposit slowly if you wanted, instead of like paying, I don't know, like $60 or $100 or however it is all in one go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the first. That was that's one of the main reasons I used to pre-order games. But lately, the games that I've bought just haven't had anything worthwhile for me to justify a pre-order. So yeah. And my thoughts on the generally pre-order, by the way, it's just that like if it's from an established series, like say Uncharted, or like another game that I pre-ordered was StarCraft, it makes sense because like people know the game, people already love it. It gives reason to pre-order and get that extra stuff, be it DLC, be it statues, be it whatever. But with games like Watch Dogs, that it's the first game in possibly a new series. They have like 7 different editions, and it's just like, why? Like it's a level of arrogance I can't stand, to be honest. Like they want you to pay extra for like a baseball cap. Like seriously, it's not even a game that people know will be good. It's nah, I don't get
It's
it.
Ubisoft though. It's going to be a series. Like they don't.
Yeah.
They're
No,
not
exactly.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but like it makes
they're
sense.
going to milk
put
that cow.
Yeah, no, but it makes sense to then have like limited editions for like the second game onwards or something, when people know the game, it's an established title and stuff. But not when it's before it comes out. Like it still needs to prove itself as being worthy of that extra money that you have to pay for the limited edition. And to have 7 of them either way, it's just no.
Yeah.
But the game wasn't actually like. I mean, that game was alright, but it wasn't. It was not as like, oh, this is amazing as I
Yeah.
think a lot of people thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
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 And my
Too
general
much
thought
hype.
is that like you can't put a pre-order on a game that still needs to prove itself. That's my main issue with it. Like it's people don't know that it will be good. Why are you really trying to milk every money and penny out of their wallet? It's just nah.
Before we move on to Christian to get his thoughts, just on that comment on, would you pre-order the next Final Fantasy game?
That's a good question. I would if 13 didn't happen. Like the track record this past years have put me in serious jeopardy of
I'm with
considering a
Chris.
pre-order. Yeah, like it's I love Final Fantasy, like I loved it for years, but it's 13 has put me on a very skeptical mindset because of it, and I don't think I will. Like if they do like a limited edition of 15, I'll be like, okay, I'll just get a normal game. And then, I'll be the happiest person if I regret the decision of not pre-ordering because 15 turns out to be an amazing game. But right now, I'm too skeptical. Like, yeah.
It's interesting.
15, yeah, sorry?
I was gonna say it's interesting that you say that like you won't pre-order a new IP because I think if I got wrong, you said you pre-ordered Sunset Overdrive, totally new
Yes.
IP. Like it's the first time that Insomniac's sort of tried that open world sort of game type. Like I mean, I think it sort of looks similar to Ratchet and Clank in some aspects, and sort of similar to the old Tony Hawk games in some aspects. But why did you pre-order that one? Like what about that game made you think, what? Yes, I need to pre-order this. Like why not wait till it's out?
Well, part of the reason I do a lot.
Oh, you cut out.
Yeah,
You cut out.
I have a whole bunch because they're all at once. I'm not going to fork out $500 come September, October, November when they all start coming out. But the other thing, like that game looks like one of those ones that what you see is what you get. It is a shooter with crazy as crap, and you're not playing it. You're not buying it for an amazing as story because they haven't even advertised one or anything like that. It is obviously a game just for sort of like fun, blow things up. I'm not expecting it to be the best thing that's ever happened, but probably a decent shooter game.
Have you played any of Insomniac's previous games?
What you mean, like
Ratchet and Clank, Fuse, Resistance? Like so you've you've got a bit of background on the developer, so you know what these sort of games.
Like though they're PlayStation 1 games and a few PlayStation 2 games mostly, but yeah.
But you
like,
play them. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And so like. But yeah, like, I mean, there's a lot coming out then. Yeah. I'm not getting any kind of special edition for it. I don't know if there is one, but yeah, because it's new.
There's a white Xbox One edition coming with it.
Oh yeah, that's right. See, that was almost tempting, but I like black better, and I already have one. If I didn't have an Xbox One, I'd probably consider it.
Yeah, I think if I get an Xbox One, I think that'll be the one I pick up. I don't like the black Xbox One; it looks too VCR for me. But the white one looks nice. But I'm not in the market for an Xbox One at this point. But we'll see. Christian, who's been waiting patiently to have to say, what about you? Have you pre-ordered anything, or have you not pre-ordered anything? What are your thoughts?
I don't often pre-order. I'm one of those people who is like, oh yeah, that game's coming out, and then I don't feel the urge to pre-order. Then on the day, I FOMO hard out and have done the mad dash around town to buy the game last minute, like I did with Watch Dogs, or I'll do what I did with Pokemon X and Y, which is another waste of money. Just buy it digitally for the full price rather than get the discount. So I haven't done it in the past. My thoughts on pre-ordering, it's a bit of a dodgy ground. If pre-ordering didn't exist, I think it'd be pretty unfair because basically whoever gets it on the day is the people who can get to the stores. So it's like a midnight launch, then you're discounting a large user base of people who just couldn't get to the store, who are at work or at school. So I quite like the idea of pre-orders, but I don't like how they go too far. Like the Tomb Raider that's coming out has pre-order content that'll be specific to each console, so you won't ever get everything.
Oh, they're not the first person to do that. It's not to each console; it's to different retailers. So,
oh, that's even worse.
If you pre-order, lots of people do that though. Like, I think it's in the States, it's Best Buy and Amazon. Depending on which one you go to, you'll get one of them will give you Hitman outfits, one will give you Deus Ex outfits. But they have said that, and this always happens, that they'll be available to, like, whatever one you can't get, you can buy both later on down the line. But it's just a, quote, fun thing to do with pre-ordering.
Yeah, sure.
But like Sony's doing a Little Big Planet. They've got different places will get you different skins. And I think probably one of the more notable one where actual gameplay was affected, the Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. So
you got like different missions depending on
which console.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, Microsoft.
But then, like a couple of months after Ground Zeroes was released,
they switched.
Each version exclusive was made available for the other. So again, it was just a timed thing. So.
But of course, they never they don't always. Sometimes they do. Like they did. Square Enix have said that they're going to bring it out later. But like with that one, they made no mention. Also, Soul Calibur 4 with the Star Wars guest characters. Xbox 360 had Yoda and Sony had Darth Vader. And then eventually after they're saying no, they didn't say
but you had to buy them and they were actually pretty expensive. Like I think Yoda on PS3, I think in New Zealand dollars it was like $6 or $7 New Zealand dollars just to get that one character. I'm like, really? So.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't think it's going to go anytime soon. I've pre-ordered a lot recent years. I didn't used to. I think the first game I ever was like, I need to pre-order this. Unfortunately, was Final Fantasy 13. I pre-ordered that because I was not going to miss out on that game.
I did the same.
Yeah. Went out, grabbed it. Didn't get a special edition or anything like that. Just got the game, took it home, and I was like, oh wow. Okay. This is it, is it? All right.
Worth.
Yeah. So that happened. And then it wasn't really until I think the next game I actually pre-ordered since then was Ratchet and Clank All for One, which wasn't a very good game, but I pre-ordered it because it was cheap, and it came with the Ratchet soft toy. Like it was like a doll. It was a decent size as well. And so I thought, yeah, this game could be fun. It doesn't look great. It's not too expensive, and that soft toy looks cool. So I pre-ordered it then.
Yeah, but again, you worked on the fact that you knew Ratchet and Clank, so you were expecting it.
Oh, but I didn't like Ratchet and Clank. That's the thing. I bought it.
Okay, but you knew of the games,
Oh
yeah. So that's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh no, I actually no. I tell a lie. I had bought because when I first got my PlayStation 3, I wanted just to have a cheap game to play on it, and this is before I really had the internet set up to download big games and stuff. So I just picked up Quest for Booty, which was like $30 NZ. And so I played that, and I was like, sweet. That was like one of the first games I actually finished without using any cheat codes or anything. So I was really, really stoked about that. Unfortunately, that was before they
No
had.
gamer, huh?
Well, they had like no trophies or anything then. So I was like, oh, of course.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Dumb. But yeah, I think now I don't generally pre-order games because I want to have it on the day. I pre-order stuff by, like with you guys as well. If it's got pre-order stuff and I want that pre-order stuff, I'm gonna pre-order it. Like, I wouldn't have normally pre-ordered a Resident Evil game. I mean, I like Resident Evil games, but it's never one I have to play on the day it releases. But with Resident Evil 6, it had map packs, and I was like, I really like the Mercenaries mode, so I want to get the map packs, and I don't know if they're going to be available later or what, but I don't have to wait, so I pre-ordered it then. But yeah, I probably will continue to pre-order just because I find it easy to keep track of releases because I usually just pre-order.
Okay, I agree on that too. Yeah.
So
you can get lost on like the waves of games coming out sometimes. So it
and I
makes
think
it easy to.
I think with also some games that might not sell that well, or there's gonna be limited quantity of, like Xenoblade and The Last Story for the Wii. I pre-ordered those because I knew that those games were not going to be around for a long time, and I don't want to have to hunt out secondhand editions later down the line. So those ones I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to pre-order them. And they're all right. They're not amazing games in my opinion, but they're all right. But yeah,
thanks. You reminded me that I have to play the last story. I have it, but I haven't touched it yet.
It's all right. I kind of stopped playing after a while, but no, it's all right. It just makes me wish. It's very much. It reminds me of the older Final Fantasy games, but not quite. I kind of just
it makes you wish for an actually good Final Fantasy. Yeah,
pretty much. I think as of last generation, the most Final Fantasy game was Lost Odyssey. I don't think there's been much more Final Fantasy games for that. But anyway, so yeah.
For me, lately, that's been Bravely Default. Like, I've only played the demo on 3DS, but it makes me, it's really Final Fantasy, honestly. Like, it's old school Final Fantasy, and I really enjoyed it, but it makes me want a better Final Fantasy for this generation. Like, Bravely Default, it's a good game on itself, but now I want a proper Final Fantasy, so here's hoping for 15 to be decent.
Yeah. Okay, so you're kind of just summarizing that up. Does anyone else have anything that they've pre-ordered? I know, Amy, you've already said yours, but does the rest of you, have you got anything else pre-ordered for this year?
No, not yet. At least not for me. Like, I'm.
Well, you don't own the current gen
PS4. Yeah, exactly. So I was about to say, like, not having a PS4, but even if I did, honestly, right now, there is no pre-order bonuses with any of the games that I would want for a PS4 either. So I don't think I would either way.
What about Dragon Age Inquisition on PC? Are you going to pre-order that or wait for it to come out?
I might. I don't know.
That's got bonus stuff for pre-ordering. It's got a whole bunch of bonus stuff actually.
Well, thing is, like, by the end of this year, I'm planning to build like a proper gaming PC, and my money will go on that first, and then the games. So So if I start spending money on like pre-order editions, it will cut away the budget for a gaming PC.
And one last thing on that. In terms of how early is too early, would any of you put down, because you can at the moment pre-order Final Fantasy 15, would any of you put down the money now to pre-order Final Fantasy 15?
No.
The game does not have a release date yet.
Nope, exactly. Yeah, that's another issue.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that the release. I'm still not sure on that one.
Yeah, like, so far of Final Fantasy 15, we've only seen that basically their new announcement. That it went from versus 15. Yeah, basically that it exists, exactly, that they changed it to 15 from versus 13. But like what we saw, although it looked good, again I'm skeptical because the reveal for Final Fantasy 13 looked good as well, but then it was scripted as hell.
Yeah. So
I'm very skeptical of what I've seen. I mean, it looks pretty. I'm not gonna deny that, but I don't know how much actual gameplay I saw and how much it was just pre-rendered trailer or whatever. So I haven't seen enough to even consider a pre-order right now.
The thing that gets me about those situations is now that we're getting more and more digital, pre-ordering's not so much about securing your copy on the day, especially if you don't care about the price, because we've all seen people like JB Hi-Fi and EB Games will cut on the day. But if you don't care about the price and you've got the storage and it works better for you, you're not really out of resources. It's not that there's a limited set. But what gets me is, say if I put the standard 10% down on Final Fantasy 15 right now, it's that stuff that comes with the special editions. And so if 5 SKUs of collector's editions are announced, and I put down a pre-order, then how early was my pre-order to be in line for what's probably limited stock of collector's editions?
Yeah.
So that's my biggest issue. So if you've got normally, I suppose Final Fantasy is probably going to do the expensive collector's edition, probably like a 6-inch figurine or something, and something really awesome, and then there'll be a mediumly expensive, and then there'll be standard copy with a little bit of extra.
If they offer jewelry with it, it's mine. I want it.
But like, where are you in line? What happens in that situation? Or if you didn't,
don't they give priority to people who've already pre-ordered? Like, you would think that'd be a thing, right?
Yeah, but for someone who
if
used
you
to
go
work,
to EB.
Yeah.
But I used to work in retail, and it's never that organized. Like,
that was the place that you worked at, which we don't need to name.
No.
That place is not exactly organized with that sort of stuff.
See,
anyway,
with Assassin's Creed, if I go down and pre-order Unity as soon as it was released with its $1,000 thing, I only put down like $20 or whatever. When they officially announce stuff, you go and say, "This is the one I want," and I guess, and from there they have up into a certain amount that they'll keep doing. It seems for limited editions, like as many pre-orders as there are, they make.
Yeah.
Plus, like a few extra, and that's pretty much how most stores seem to do it. I don't think anyone really does like we're only going to do 100. I've yet to actually see anyone do that, other than there was one game that did that for a charity purpose. I can't remember which game it was. It may have actually been Assassin's Creed, but no one could really get that. It cost a ridiculous amount.
Actually, that reminds me, Uncharted 3 had something. Actually, I know Uncharted 2, like, there was a limited edition with a dagger that you actually get in
what about
game.
the Battlefield ones that came with, like, night vision goggles or, like, the goat?
Exactly, yeah. Those were, like, very...
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, like, those were very, very limited, but then, again, they would cost way too much for what it was.
Done the other
but
way.
you don't, like, see, that's just ludicrous, man. Like, you don't need that sort of stuff.
But for me,
exactly.
that's more enticing.
Yeah, they make it even more limited because, like, oh, I want to be one of the few people in the world to have this, so it can work in that way. Like, exactly. Yeah. No, I agree.
Like the Mass Effect that came with the N7 so on sticker. No, Todd hasn't even put his on, and I don't blame him because it's about as generic as it comes. But
firstly, hold on. Firstly, it's not a sticker; it's a patch that you can sew onto your clothes. And secondly, we need to move on to the next topic because we're dawdling on this. So we're moving on now to remasters and remakes. So, I guess what I want to know with this, I mean, there've been a lot of remakes, more than normal, have been announced really quickly for this generation of consoles. You've got like The Last of Us Remastered. God, I knew this was going to happen. Resident Evil has been announced. You've got some more obscure ones like Watch Dogs. Every time. It's not Watch Dogs. Sleeping Dogs. Metro. The Metro first-person shooter series, that's been
GTA 5.
GTA 5, thank you, that was the other big one, and Tomb Raider. Like, all of these in a scope space of a year. It's a little bit concerning to me that so many have been out so quickly, and it seems to be any game that came out last gen is eligible now with Sleeping Dogs on the list. I don't. That's probably the one I get annoyed at the most. Like, who the hell was like, you know what? I want this. I want this again. Like, no, that game has been out for, like, it's a couple of years old now. It's been out for however long. They've discounted it, put it on so many sales. It was on PlayStation Plus for free for a month. Like, if you wanted that game, there have been so many ways to play it, and it's so cheap. And now they're like, yeah, full price. Give us the full price. Here's all the DLC, costumes and stuff, and have at it. And what are your thoughts, David?
Remakes, yeah. I did buy Tomb Raider when it came out. I really liked the original Tomb Raider games, so I was pretty keen on the new one, even though it's not quite the same kind of puzzly game. It's a lot more actiony. But yeah, I've got no problem with remakes. I guess for older games, like with the Tomb Raider games, they'd been around for quite a bit. But some games, yeah, I just think they're going a bit nuts with the remakes.
Chris?
My my point of view on this is that I agree with David. Like with older games, I'm all for it. Also because it's a chance for old-time fans to revisit the game. Like it gives kind of like that replayability kind of thing, and it allows for new audiences to jump in the gun if they didn't do it years ago. You know. But yeah, they've gone crazy lately, and my only idea and logic for this is maybe because the new consoles have yet to have like really big games, so they're trying to kind of capitalize on the success of say Last of Us and Tomb Raider and GTA 5 while they wait for actual original games for those consoles. I still don't fully agree with like I don't get why they would need to do the remake of the reboot of Resident Evil. That's just too much. That's like Inception level. It's
Remake for remake.
yeah, a remake of a reboot. And yeah, like I'm all for good remakes and all, but they have gone crazy with it lately. I think it's become a trend by now because people see that it's working, so they just kind of want a piece of that. And it's just because new consoles right now have yet to really have big system sellers, so they try to sell the systems with good games from the previous generations.
Amy, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's a good use of their time, or is it time and money that could be spent elsewhere? Or
Oddworld, fine to redo. It was a good game, and
exactly,
it's so old now. And people do want to relive it. It is the whole there's not really backwards compatibility, and there's not a lot of actual games easier to revamp. Pack ones like Jack and Daxter, when they released that again on PlayStation 3, but you got like all of them in the one game, what they're doing for the Master Chief, what they did for Kingdom Hearts. That stuff's fine. Crap like The Last of Us, it just came out.
Yeah.
I understand that one.
Okay,
Okay,
it's a bit prettier. That's about all my understanding.
From my understanding, the reason why that happened is it was a critical and commercial success on a console that wasn't doing that well. So now they've got this console that's doing amazingly well. It's starved for content. It's a really quick, easy turnaround, and the game is still really well received. I don't think they could have done it any other year than this one. I think
this is pretty much was the only time you could get away with it. But I still think it's kind of stupid.
Oh yeah, I mean, I won't buy it. I've already got.
Well, the thing is, like, I get why they do it. I understand the thinking behind it, but I'm with Amy. Like, it just came out, like it's. Granted, though, this is like this is the thought of people that have played The Last of Us in PS3. Like people that haven't gotten a PS3, or maybe they were maybe Xbox fans before, but they switched to PS4. Now they get a chance to play this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that stuff sort of works.
Yeah.
But it's got
like I get it, but I'm also like,
Yeah.
Sorry, Kristen, you were saying?
Well, it's got a market. David, who's in this podcast, wants a PS4 and wants to get Last of Us, don't you, David?
Yeah. I don't have a PS3. Never had a chance to get one because I was traveling for the last few years, but I'll be settling down in about 6 months. I'm going to get a PS4. And The Last of Us Remastered will probably be one of the first games I get.
It's a good game.
It's a really good game.
And I feel like a lot of people missed it on the PS3 because I don't think it like blew out box office on the first day like things like GTA.
No, PlayStation 3 games generally didn't do that. They sold well, but they never did the sort of numbers that you'd get on other consoles last gen.
Well, it did kind of come out when the PlayStation 4 was coming out, so a lot of people were sort of like putting their money elsewhere.
Yeah.
And not really buying PlayStation 3
games. Thing is,
games.
I think they also, like Last of Us, it was kind of like a big send-off for the PS3 before PS4 came out, like the last gem on the thing, so it's...
You and I both know that game has not come out yet, and it's called Persona 5. The Persona games are always the last big games for the
good point. Yeah, but Naughty Dog is like the flagship developer for PS3. So yeah, it was either this or New Uncharted, but New Uncharted is coming for PS4, so it's it's the big game to kind of send off the PS3. Although I think PS3 still has a long life. Not that newer games will come out of it or anything. Like I'll still play it years down the line, but The Last of Us was like the last big thing before they basically moved on to the next gen.
Okay, to wrap up this segment, I just sort of play a quick game of would you buy? So this is a list of games that have come out last gen. And I want to know if you would buy remakes or remasters of them. So, no, not even remakes, just remasters. So, just remasters. So, same game, nothing's changed. It's just a high definition of it. So, Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3.
Nah.
No.
Now they're fine as is.
Borderlands 1 and 2.
Nope.
No.
Maybe. Just because I'm a big fan of the series, maybe.
Call of Duty,
Well, no.
the Modern Warfare trilogy.
No.
No.
Nothing of a generic shooter type.
Dark Souls 1 and 2. Again, it's a game that just came out.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I'm also a big fan of that series, and
Even
but, I also think it's fine the way it is now. Like I'd rather get a new Dark Souls than
I should specify. I mean Demon Souls, not Dark Souls. Sorry, Dark Souls.
Oh, Demon Souls, right? No, right.
Demon Souls 1 and 2.
No, you mean Dark Souls then, because Demon Souls was just kind of.
Oh, I do mean Dark Souls. Damn it! I thought I had it wrong.
Dark Souls, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dark Souls, yeah.
Dragon Age.
I will say. Sorry.
No.
Dragon Age 1 and 2 put together.
Nah, I'm a PC gamer, so that stays there. For Dragon Age, that is.
The Elder Scrolls 5 with all its DLC.
No.
Now you're adding things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you'd soon like. I mean, it would have all the DLCs in these packs.
Wait, was the Assassin's Creed one all the games in one pack?
No, 1, 2, and 3. There's been way too many Assassin's Creed games. Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3, and whatever DLC they came with.
What about like 2.5 and 2.75? Because otherwise the story doesn't make sense.
I very clearly said 1, 2, and 3.
Definitely not.
Which means that you'd be missing a big part of the story and half of a new one. Enjoy.
No, but you said Skyrim. Actually, like I personally wouldn't, but on PS3 it ran like crap. Honestly, like the frame rate was another mess. So for that purpose alone, to have it run properly on the PS4, I would, but I play it on PC. So. Okay,
Far Cry 3.
No.
Nah.
Final Fantasy 13 series.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, no.
We all laugh at that, but there is a chance that they might end up happening still. You never know.
No, I'd rather have Final Fantasy 7, which will never happen. So.
Yeah.
Infamous 1 and 2 tied together.
Ooh.
No.
Yes, that I would.
I've heard good things about the Second Son one.
That's not.
Yeah.
I didn't play the other two, so.
It would kind of help newcomers for the PS4 to play the previous titles in the series. I would personally because I like the games. So.
Little Big Planet 2.
Just 2?
Yes, just 2.
Nah. If it was like a double pack with all the extra crap, maybe, but not just 2.
Now, for me, the Little Big Planet is not a game I want to look better. Like it's got good gameplay and the whole creativity stuff. I don't need it to look better.
Okay, Persona 4.
Ooh, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never really had a chance to grab Persona games, so maybe yeah.
We'll do one last one. Let's go. One to lead on. Oh, I'm totally drawing a blank. The Mass Effect trilogy.
Maybe.
Not personally.
No.
Then again, I haven't really played the other ones much, so I'd only want it to be able to play it.
Okay. So from what I get from there, it really is just depending on the game and the game series, whether or not you double dip. So if you really like the game or the game series, you double dip, but otherwise you got no interest.
Basically, yeah.
Cool.
It's for me anyways.
All right, well, we'll move on now to our final big topic out of our 3 topics. We'll be talking about Gamescom 2014. So that is scheduled to happen this week, and depending on where you are in the world, it is either happening on Tuesday the 12th or Wednesday the 13th. So I guess what I want to really lead into here is, I mean, this year's Gamescom, it looks like it's going to be one of the bigger ones. We've got conferences from Microsoft, who were absent last year. You've got conferences from, sorry, I should say press conferences from Sony. You've also got EA. So we're having like quite a lot of people actually putting on shows this year, whereas it hasn't happened so much in last year. So it's normally usually just been a big Sony show. Like last year, Sony I think was one of the few people actually exhibited and had a show. Now, judging from what you know of it so far, what are we expecting? Well, what are we predicting? What do we think is going to go down when the dust settles? What do we think is going to be revealed? Are we expecting new reveals? I know Sony has already, got a bunch of games that they're going to be revealing. They had that leak last month. But what do you think? Let us start with Christian.
I'm actually gonna go against the grain, only because I read it somewhere and it made sense. I don't think Sony's gonna. I think if Sony does something new, it's not gonna be huge, and I think that's what everyone expects it to be. Only because I think they're gonna have the Order. Is it 88 or 1886? Yeah, the Order game.
1886, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have that and some gameplay. I think they're going to do some Uncharted, which is going to be big for them. I don't think they want to overshadow them in any light. And also, I would like to see No Man's Sky, and I think because they've got a really good relationship with them, they might do some more gameplay of that, which would be really good to see, seeming what we've seen has been quite minimal. And so I think on the Sony front, I think if anything's new, it's not going to overshadow either of those big three. I did also read something that suggested that there's a lot of Vita titles on the way, and we know the only...
I wish.
Well, the Vita titles are actually coming quite a lot, but they're not AAA titles. They're all indie or small house, which I think when they say, if we get a bunch of Vita titles, I expect half of them probably to actually be PSN also. So I think they're going to have maybe a lot of low-level... Well, not crap, but low-level stuff that'll go PSN and Vita, and then I'm thinking they're going to have a large focus on those three big titles. Xbox, I think, are going to have to do something to... I think they've got maybe a surprise waiting in the ranks, and they'll say nothing about their recently axed TV division.
No, I mean, no one's going to bring up bad news, so they're not going to talk about that. But what do you think they're going to pull out? What do you think is going to be their surprise?
Either something along the lines of...
I have no idea what you guys are saying. It's cutting out again.
Yeah, you were cutting out quite a bit earlier.
Maybe get better internet. Carry on, Chris.
Mine's fine.
I think with the... part of me wants to say another sort of Gears IP style thing, but if they're going to do a lot of Halo stuff, I don't think they'll go in that direction.
Plus they've got Gears coming out, so...
Yeah, so there might be a little bit of gameplay, but I think if they're going to bring anything new, it's going to be either something sporty, which is square into their field of their core users, or maybe a sort of like adventure-esque game that's from in-house.
Well, if you're going to show off a sporting IP at Gamescon, I mean, it's a European event. There's only one sport you'd want to show off.
Football.
Yeah.
Football, yes.
So you think maybe something like that?
All racing. Europe doesn't.
Yeah,
well, they've already got Forza 2 coming out, so I mean they're not going to cannibalize their own first party stuff. Yeah. So I maybe well no, I mean like won't do that, but
I just see Xbox playing to their strengths more.
Yeah.
I'm not too big on Xbox, so I sort of.
I mean, it's not very often that you have like exclusive sports titles. Like even Microsoft's TV sports thing. Like even then, it wasn't exclusive games. It was just exclusive content on multiplayer sports games. I don't think sports games generally do super well as exclusives. I don't know. That's just me anyway. What about well, we'll start moving, carrying on with Xbox, and we'll get Amy's feedback on that in a sec.
If she's still here.
I'm still here. You just occasionally drop out.
So Xbox tweeted out today actually, the image Xbox at Gamescom 2014.
No, the backwards compatibility.
So there is rumored that they're going to bring, because so basically, to just give you context, if you haven't seen it yet, the Twitter image is the Xbox logo, the B from Scalebound, the O from Halo Must Have Collection, the X is from the original Xbox collection, then we have the @ symbol, which is from ID at Xbox. You've then got the G from Dragon Age Inquisition, the A from Fable Legends, the 3 is upside down and it's from The Witcher, and that is the M. You have E for Evolved, S for Sunset Overdrive, you've got the C from Call of Duty, the O from Ori and the Blind Forest, the M from Quantum Break, the 1 from FIFA 2015, or 15, and the 4 from Far Cry 4. So obviously you can take from that these games are going to be at Microsoft's show, but it is interesting that they have the original Xbox logo. And before you say, well, maybe they couldn't find an X to have cover for that, but there are games that have X's in them that they could use, like Mad Max, Metro 2033 Redux, Minecraft Xbox One Edition, Mortal Kombat X, or Pinball FX2. So, Amy, what are you thinking? What are your initial thoughts?
Well, they'll probably play the Halo thing, that's for sure. Quantum Break will be a big thing that they'll want to do. They'll have to sort of sidetrack the whole fact they're not doing TV stuff anymore, even though they're bringing out Halo and Quantum Break. But yeah, that'll be fun how they sort of work that in. I do think they'll probably do a new game, but like what? I'm not entirely sure. I think you're right that it could be a sport one, but it'll probably be some kind of like adventure-y action one that they've had in the sidelines or something. I don't know.
About Connect, do you think they're going to have a Connect presence, or they're going to just let that quietly die now?
They probably will. Like, they might have some more of their whole like fitness Connect sort of base stuff and that kind of crap. But yeah, I'd say that's not going to be too big, as maybe originally they would have planned to do something big Connect-y stuff, but because now they're selling it without, I'd say they're not going to bother. They're probably going to focus on like Halo 5, Quantum Break, probably some of the other games that are due out shortly, and then yeah, I only expect them to have one unannounced proper game, maybe some new features, store app crap, but I doubt they've got that many games in the works at the moment, at least not that would be ready to present yet.
Chris, in terms of surprises, what do you think we could expect from Microsoft's conference?
Yeah, you're asking the right guy here. You know, I'm not a big Microsoft.
Well, I mean, you saw the E3 stuff. Like they're not.
Yeah.
It's not unknown for them to do surprise. They had Scalebound, which was a surprise, and
that's
it's like kind of tying back to what you said. Like Gamescom, there hasn't, like in the past years there weren't this many press conference, you know, from big companies and stuff. So I think they are kind of, I wouldn't say, you know, in an exaggerated way. It feels like they're gonna maybe treat Gamescom as a sort of like E3 2.0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, since, you know, next generation, so they want to show more stuff that they usually show at Gamescom. Because if my memory serves me right, Gamescom has never been the big place to see reveals. You know, so I honestly don't expect many surprises at all, even from Sony. Although you know, I'd be happy if there was, but
there's already one coming we know about. So,
which one?
We'll get to that in a minute. We'll just talk about Microsoft first.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no, my point is that I honestly don't expect many surprises. Like Amy said, maybe they'll definitely play the Halo thing. I have a feeling they'll show The Witcher off. I don't expect many surprises, honestly. So.
David, talk to me.
So you asked me about BioWare's new game, right? Because that's what I'm really keen to learn more about.
Dragon.
No, the one they've been hinting at with the teaser, the You've Been Chosen stuff.
Oh, that one.
That's going to be with EA. Though. I don't think that'll be at Microsoft. I think you'll find.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
No, that's just all I care about. So
okay, well, I think if there were going to be any surprises, I've heard some rumblings, although it probably is more just wishes than rumblings, really, that there might be a new Banjo-Kazooie, maybe Banjo 3. But I think that's probably just wishful thinking at this point. I think they'll have something new to show because they can't. I don't think they can go through Gamescom without having something new. I think you'll definitely see. I don't think you'll see Halo 5 as much as you'll see the Master Chief Collection. I think
that'll be
probably what they'll do is they'll just really hammer home what they've got coming up this year. So you'll see, your Master Chief Collection, Sunset Overdrive, Forza Horizon 2. I think the game they're going to focus on the most will definitely be Quantum Break. And it'll be good to finally see that game exposed more, because we've kind of only seen little snippets of it here and there, and I don't think anyone really gets like what makes this game. So it'd be good to see like this is this game, this is how it works, and this is why you want to play it. So I think that'd be good. But I would be very surprised if they don't have something new to show. Because if you're going to do a press conference, you don't do a press conference with just what already exists. Like, you got to throw in something. Yeah, so we'll see. What about Sony? And we'll start with Christian. What do you think they're going to have? What are you expecting from Sony at Gamescom?
I already said what I expected. I expected anything new to not be big enough to overshadow anything Uncharted, Order 88, or No Man's Sky related. I think everything new is going to be indie or super indie.
Oh, yeah, you did too.
Yep.
Whoops.
Sort of pre-covered that.
That's. I just wanted to hear it again.
I'm just really here for more Vita stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, same here, to be honest. I want some software on the Vita, like good software.
Yeah, and I like the sort of style of the indie quality we're getting. Like even Metrico, which I recently just tried on PlayStation Plus, even though that was stupid, it was still of the quality I'm looking forward to. And that Todd, what's the name of that game I'm gonna get on Vita? It's like $20 just came out this week. Swapper, yeah. And then Sony, of course, teased at the beginning of the year their first fourth-person adventure, but they said it was going to come out in Q2, but they haven't actually done it. So there's like some nice, quiet-looking, good quality. So just Vita games coming out, and I'm not here for massive AAA titles because I know I don't play them.
Okay, all right. So we definitely know now what you think's going to happen.
Vita.
Chris.
I'm with Chris on this. Like, I think
He's
anything.
Christian, you're Chris.
Oh, sorry, Christian. Yeah.
Wow, we're really on.
Okay, I'm with Christian on this. Like anything they'll have will not overshadow Uncharted or No Man's Sky or whatever, and I'll be happy if Vita gets quality games. I'm all for quality indie titles as well. But
what about play? So okay, I mean, yeah. So there'll be I would be surprised if there's not a Vita presence. I would say it's going to be a small presence. I don't think they're going to have a huge blowout because they generally don't. But what about PlayStation 4 titles? Because that's kind of what we were all going there for. So in terms of PlayStation 4, what are you expecting from them?
Just the no-brainer. Like Uncharted will definitely be shown, for sure. And No Man's Sky, hopefully we'll get a reveal for what that leak was with the axe and.
That's definitely going to be.
But again, I think maybe Uncharted may be shown at the end of the conference as sort of like
it's their ringer.
Exactly. The way to end it big, and maybe like so far we've only seen like a reveal trailer, and I don't expect gameplay or anything, but maybe something to tell us more of what Uncharted 4 is about.
You'll get the storyline. You'll get a CGI storyline.
A story trailer, a story trailer. That's what I meant. Yeah.
I would be happy to just see some decent in-game footage of that, other than the.
I don't think. I think it's too soon. Like I don't think they'll do it now. I'll be happy if they did, but.
I mean, they showed off a few years ago. It's where they showed off for Uncharted 3 the plane escape. But it was at Gamescom, so it's not unheard of. But maybe we'll see.
And I actually forgot that it was a Gamescom, but like the good thing about Uncharted is that what we've seen of the reveal is actually in-game footage, because they've never shown.
Well, purportedly it is. We won't know until the game comes out.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, like Naughty Dog, especially with Uncharted, has never done like a CG trailer. Even in the games, there is no pre-rendered cutscenes, so it's all in-game engine. So I have high hopes for that, and it's a bold statement because holy crap, that graphics looks amazing. But
that's its main selling point, because Uncharted is not going to bring something so brand new and revolutionary to the table because that's not Uncharted, and the only thing it's got to sell it on will be the new Naughty Dog engine that it's going to be rendered in.
All right, well, you're forgetting about. I don't want to get too hung up on Uncharted at Gamescom, but what about the other studios? Because there are two big European studios that haven't shown anything for PlayStation 4 yet. You've got we've got Media Molecule, but Guerrilla Games have got a new IP that they've been quietly working on, and of course they split into there's two different Guerrilla Games companies now. I can't remember the two different names of them, but there are two different studios for Guerrilla Games. And supposedly the game that they're working on is an open world RPG somewhere between like your Elder Scrolls or Fallout and your Witcher. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some of that. I think that this might be the time to show that. I definitely think New Molecule will be there, but I think we're going to have more indies as well. And I definitely expect we'll see more of what we saw at E3. So Bloodborne and stuff. But I
wasn't actually considering Media Molecule and Guerrilla, but it makes sense, especially since Gamescon is a European convention. So
it's their home too.
Yeah, good point. Like now you made me look forward to whatever Guerrilla has coming up, because I like the studio, and Killzone is not revolutionary or anything, but I like the games. And
it's solid, but it would be good to see them do something new.
Yeah, exactly. I'm interested in this new IP that they've got working.
The Axe game that you mentioned, the Axe trailer that you mentioned, all signs point to that being the re-reveal of... I knew I'd forget the name. I think it's after... No. What is it? Hold on. It's something dark. It was a survival horror game exclusive to PlayStation 3. Damn.
So wait, as in that was supposed to come out on PS3 and then
supposed to come out on PlayStation 3, and it disappeared quietly. And I think it's called After Dark or something similar to that. I know I'm going to look this up afterwards and find out. I'm not going to do it now, but it was a survival horror game. Teenagers out in the wilderness in the snow. And it was meant to come out, and it just quietly it was shown off and then quietly went away. I'm thinking PlayStation 4 exclusive, or maybe even coming to 3 as well, but definitely coming to PlayStation 4. And I wouldn't be surprised if they showed it off working with Morpheus.
Oh.
But we'll see. I mean, that's not something you can really demonstrate well on stage, so we'll see. But
the survival horror genre has been kind of like exploded thanks to the what's it called, Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised either. And I'm all for good horror games, especially since, Dead Space also became like a military shooter by the third one, although the second one was really good and everything. So I want a new, good, actual survival horror game. I don't want it to be Resident Evil 6, basically.
Until Dawn. It is called Until Dawn. Until Dawn, not something in the After Dark. Until Dawn. Close, not quite, but
yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see that be revealed. And like I said, there's going to be indie presence. Everyone's going to have indies, I think, this year.
Yeah.
So what's keeping them afloat in their early
PlayStation Plus is keeping them afloat.
Yeah,
PlayStation Plus is game.
I just mean the whole generation. It's they learned from last time where having a launch and then not having enough games to back it up hasn't worked out for them. So that's why the indies are pulling their weight.
Any closing thoughts? I want from each of you one prediction for Gamescom. One final prediction, starting with Amy.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be predicting.
Just anything. What's something you think is going to go down at E3?
So go with an Xbox prediction because you're an Xbox fanboy.
Yeah.
At least one company, if not more, that had their own version of like Oculus Rift type stuff that all reckoned they were going to start to announce soon, and one of them reckoned Gamescom. I don't know how that's going. But I reckon the Quantum Break's going to be a pretty big thing with their whole TV crossover weird ass thing. We're going to learn more about that.
So you think Quantum Break's going to be a big standout game there for Microsoft?
Yeah, I think they're probably going to have their own thing rather than be with Xbox almost, from the way they've been advertising it.
Okay. David?
I'm glad you asked, Todd. I think that BioWare will indeed confirm that their new game is going to have some sort of superhero-based thing.
Because it's
I'm
something.
Still on that game.
It's totally Heroes, man.
But do you think it's going to be dark and gritty?
Yes. Have you seen those trailers?
No, I haven't.
There you go. You need to see those trailers.
It's like a young woman saying it wasn't my fault, and then it pans out to
a hole where her house used to be.
And there's the guy who's dreaming, like he'll lucid dream of running through things, and then he wakes up and there's a guy whose face is smoke. Like it's some pretty weird stuff. But yeah, I'd say EA is going to show that one off. I don't think that'll. Maybe it would be a bit of a coup if more so for Microsoft. I think if Microsoft could get their exclusive revealed, they would get a lot of press for them. But
Yeah.
I'd say probably EA will want to show off their new IP for
I
that.
don't like the words Microsoft and exclusive in the same sentence. Just
Well, not many people believe it. It's normally Microsoft exclusive for now, like Rise and Dead Rising 3, which were only going to be on Xbox One, and they're already on PC, or coming to PC. So
Well,
you
yeah,
take it with a grain
Xbox stuff always ends up on PC real quick.
Chris,
Microsoft.
give me a prediction.
I have no idea about the predictions, but what David mentioned sounds interesting enough. This is a very far-fetched prediction, and I'm only naming it just out of sheer hope that it comes out and dreams. But maybe we'll get to see a bit more Final Fantasy 15. Who knows?
Maybe.
yeah, would that be a
No, I'm joking on that. But what David mentioned, because to be honest, I haven't really followed any predictions about Gamescom myself, so I really don't know what to think until I follow the news coming out from it. So maybe BioWare's new game would be interesting to see if they fully reveal it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If they show it properly, Christian, give me one quick last prediction.
No Man's Sky, gameplay, storyline, what's it's going to be about, it's all going to be revealed on the table just before they do anything else, because it's a studio they're supporting and hand-holding, but they don't want it to overshadow anything else they've got going on, so they'll reveal it all.
I'm expecting. I think I'm going to stick with what I said earlier. I'm expecting Guerrilla Games to show off their new IP. I think it's time. I don't think we'll see a lot of it.
I kind of forgot about that. You see, it's just, that's how much out of the loop I am with it.
Well, there you go. Okay, speaking of bets, so each episode we have a bet where we make a prediction about something, and basically the winner of the bet gets to choose the song that we play at the end of the podcast. So this week's bet is, are we all ready?
Yeah.
Got your betting hats on? Yeah, cool.
Yes.
This week's bet is how many unannounced...
Wait. Sorry, I got to adjust my betting hat.
You're
Okay.
Sorry,
you are all terrible people.
Mhm.
How many unannounced games will be making their debut during Sony's Gamescom press conference? Now, this includes remasters, so it doesn't
And
have...
Vita?
Yeah, anything new. So it can be an old game as a remastered or a remake, that's fine, but it needs to be a new game. So Destiny wouldn't count because Destiny's already been announced. How many? I'm going to start with... I'm going to pick on first. Chris.
Oh, wow. I'll go with...
Just before you say your number, I'll give you guys a bit of a hint. Sony generally is one of the people who does have new stuff for Gamescom.
Yeah.
So there'll be at least something. And we already know that there's going to be some new things there. So just factor that in.
Counting in remasters, like you said, I'm going to just go 5.
5. Locking it in?
Yeah.
Locked in. Christian.
7.
No,
Alright.
no, I'm 7.
Too late.
Can't take 7.
Well, I was going to be 6.
And 7's my favorite number, and that was
Next.
my reasoning behind it. So.
Next is Amy.
I'll stick with my 6, even though everyone seems to be going real close.
Your ways are close to each other.
That's
Okay,
fine.
David.
Well, I can't have 7?
No. So you can go 8 or you can go 4.
No,
or you
I'm
can
going
go lower or higher.
No, I'm going 77.
No, it's fine. David
can
can
have
have
two
7, and I'm
7s.
going to go 8. I'll go 8. David can have 7.
So David wants
No,
7.
I don't want 7 anymore. I've chosen 77.
77. Okay. So we'll work out the ratios for that when it stops being closer to 7 and starts being closer to 77.
You said higher.
I'm going to go...
Well, the moment there is more than 7, he wins. So.
I'm thinking.
Decisions.
Dun,
I
dun.
have I have a feeling you would have gone for either 5 or 6.
Yes. They.
I'll change mine to 11 if we're all too close.
No,
if you want.
you pick with what you want. If you want to change to 11, that's cool, but don't base it on anybody else. If you want 6, stick with 6. If you want 11, you can change to 11. The only person who's locked in so far is Chris.
Yeah, I'm locked in. Yeah.
So Chris,
No,
can't-
I'm pretty satisfied where I am as well.
okay.
Yeah, I'll go with 11.
All right. Amy's going 11, and that's now locked in. Christian, did you want to change your bet? It's your last chance.
No, I'm going to go back to 7.
We didn't leave 7.
I did.
You didn't leave 7. It's locked in.
7.
All right.
It's in there.
I'm gonna go.
Come on. You made the question.
I'm gonna go 8, and lock that in.
All right.
Just so we're all clear. Actually, no, we're all good. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. No, we're good. Okay.
Who won last time's bet?
Well, that's what we're going on to now. Don't jump the gun. Getting to it now. So last episode, we bet on what the final score on Metacritic will be for The Last of Us Remastered for PlayStation 4. Now, last week, we did not have David or Chris with us. They were MIA, but we had a special guest, Tahi. Now, Tahi is a teacher in Japan, and he guessed 93. So he was closest. Christian had 87. Amy had 92 until she talked herself out of it and went down to 85. And I had 80. So I was the worst off of the group. So because Tahi is not here and cannot claim his score, he is knocked out. So Christian won last week's bet, and so Christian is chosen today's leaving music, outro music, blah, 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 blah. So Christian, what have you chosen and why?
Okay, so jumped onto OC Remix, jumped onto Pokemon. I wanted to find a Pokemon
Yes.
song for the ages, and while I was
I
originally...
really agree with this.
Oh, you'll agree with this even more, Christian, because it's your and mine ballpark. So while previously all the OC Remix songs have been of a electronic style, this is the rock heavy metal remix of Pokemon Gold
Yes.
theme song. It is.
Yeah.
This is the stuff game trailers are made of. If you imagine any old
Have I ever told you how much I love you, by the way?
multiple times. Literally, it could almost be a Final Fantasy trailer, because you know how they like to go for rock with their scores.
No, you
Well,
don't.
some of them. I've watched one or two that does.
Oh, they do, yeah.
What?
Oh.
What? No, hold on.
Hang on.
Oh,
I
no.
might be
Now
thinking
you've
of
started it.
And Todd, I might be thinking of Adventure on the movie, because that had a lot of rock in it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's the only Final Fantasy I've actually ever been exposed to, other than 14.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway.
So yeah, we'll play that at the end of this, and you can jump over to OC Remix and download your own copy if you like, and then we'll apply that in the link as well.
Excellent. Well, that has been this episode. Little bit longer than we normally would be, but you can catch us again in a fortnight. We are available on iTunes and at f5.net, and we'll see if it's feasible to get some of the older episodes up on iTunes. Otherwise, we might just be starting with this one. So, to be determined on that, but we'll see. So first, I just want to thank. Well, lastly, I just want to thank everyone for being on the show today. So thank you to Christian, Chris, David, and Amy.
Bye.
Bye?
Well, it's what we normally do.
I'm
It's
quite sure
closing
how-
sentiments.
I'm not quite sure that's the correct answer for
Bye.
someone thanks you, but anyway,
Thanks, Todd.
that's
being
great,
here.
and we'll try our best just to keep you all on, and maybe even get the other guest, Pete, to make an appearance. He sometimes is here, sometimes not. So anyway, that has been us. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you all next time. I'm Todd Hamilton for Sly Tiger Gaming Podcast. And yeah, have a great week, everyone. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now can I say bye? Or should I say
Yes.
thanks? Thanks. Thanks for listening.
Oh, I hate you.
I know you do.